Hey everybody. So tonight is our second A21 dev stream. I am joined by Justin Owens. And actually we have a lot of art people here tonight, but I'm going to let Justin kind of introduce himself. You may have met him last time we did these. They've been here before, but yeah, Justin, go ahead and give a little
Hey,
spill about yourself.
I'm Justin Owens, lead artist on 7 Days to Die. And yeah, glad to be here, guys. Appreciate you joining. Um, yeah, this is exciting to finally get to release some of the stuff that we've been working on for a little while. So yeah, thanks a lot for joining. I appreciate it.
So everybody seems really excited about this. Justin's going to be showing off. I'm gonna show some images. Okay, so everybody, I do want to point this out. This is the first time we've really used Twitch's guest star feature. So we may have some little hiccups as we kind of shift around when we add people in, things like that. It's got a limit of 5 people, but there's I want to say there's 9 of us. So it's going to be just a little bit of kind of growing pains as we do this, but you're going to get to see some great art. So just be patient with us. Justin's kind of muffled. Okay. Is it enough that you can hear him okay? Or, like, are you able to understand him well enough,
Yeah,
everybody?
can you guys hear me? Mic check.
Test 1 2 1 2. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead real quick. Okay, now that's not good. We keep hearing Discord in the background. Yep, as long as we can't hear yeah, I mean that's true. Um, okay, so we're gonna. Okay, they say they can hear you. Okay,
Can you
um,
now?
okay, so we're gonna go ahead now, and we're gonna click on over. So Justin's gonna be talking about some of the art that he's been doing. So I'm gonna click. Now we may need to test to make sure that we can actually be heard in this. Should be able to, but like I said, with this, it's a little weird. So just give me just a sec.
Hello. What's up, y'all?
Hold on. I don't think you can hear me. You can hear Justin though. I saw Justin moving, but you couldn't hear me during that. Here, hold on. I will fix it. So now you should be able to hear us both. So you can hear Justin and myself. Correct,
Yes.
everybody?
1 2.
Yep, we can hear Justin. You can hear me. Nice. Okay, so go
Cool.
ahead, Justin.
All
Explain
right.
away.
So yeah, so we were lucky enough to work with a really cool studio to try to. So let me back up a little bit. At the beginning of this alpha, we kind of marched through, all the props in the game, and we were like, yeah, this is going to take us way too long for our micro team. So we, started looking around, and I worked with a studio called Decagon before, and so I reached out to them, and they were like, yeah, we'd be really excited to work with you. So um, yeah, so what you're looking at is basically all the work that we did working partnering with them. So we did all the production, the art direction, technical direction on our end. Kind of gave them really strict rules and things to follow as far as the voxel dimensions go. And I'll show a little bit more of that on the next slide. Yeah, so we're excited to be able to release this to you guys. It's going to be exciting. It just makes the world a little more immersive, and just to where you feel like you're kind of almost there. So I think we can kind of move to the next one. The next one shows a little more detailed explanation on some of the production side. So, we provide, the outsourcers with references and kind of give them voxel blockout dimensions because, voxel game is just so much different than normal AAA game or whatever. So, we give them very strict guidelines on voxel dimensions so that, this prop can be used in different ways, by level designers or by just, you guys or whoever is exposed to the tool set. So next stage is a high poly. We'll give them feedback, get the high poly again, and then more feedback. And in this case, they kind of made something that was, kind of a standard fitment on wheels, but we wanted something a little different. So we gave them that feedback. They got it right to us, and we kind of continued on. So we move on, to polygon count, look at the polys, and we try to reduce as much as we can on each model. That kind of gives us more performance gains and stuff like that. So then we move on to texture and tint mask. So that's kind of, it gives us a lot more flexibility as far as variation on each prop. So each prop looks like it's, being used a lot more than it, actually is. So you get a lot of mileage out of each prop. Then we kind of move on to LODs. LODs is not fun at all, but, has to be done. And then, that's just the outsourced production side of it. We kind of move those props in-house and get them integrated. And the team, really helped out with that. And then we move on to kind of pushing that to level design, and the level designers modify it, customize it however they want. And yeah, so that's just a small look into kind of the production side of outsourcing. We'll go to the next slide.
Cool. Hey, Justin, real quick, can you check if the guest star, that window that's up, it has an option to choose your mic? I think they're acting like it might be using your webcam mic instead of, because you have a really nice mic right there, and it's not coming off at that quality. You should probably sound a little better. Just check if it works. Cool. If not, we can always just keep going. It's not a big deal. But there should be. Here, I can send you.
Sorry, guys. Technical difficulty.
No. Everybody, and as I told you all, this was bound to happen. We are using something we have never used before for this. Before we would use Discord, and we kind of like shared everybody on the screen. We thought that since Twitch put in this feature to make it a nice, easy way of handling this, that we would try it out because it makes where we can render people in a nice format and everything. So hopefully we can get all this resolved.
I switched over. Is that
better? There you go.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, perfect. That's
cool.
Okay, let me come on. There you go. Okay,
Sorry
go ahead.
That. I was using my webcam.
Yeah,
mic,
no, that's fine.
I'm here. Cool.
So yeah, we're on the next screen now.
Awesome. So here's just kind of a glimpse into some of the prop art direction in the A21 props. So we start out with kind of a papers design, mostly from like Joel Hunick that puts that together, aka Madmole. So puts together paper design, and then we work up some art direction, with just a lot of detail, as many details as we can about where we want placement of items and each object to go, and we push that to the concept artist. We've got some really talented guys that do some really cool concepts for us. So what you're looking at here is some of the new workstation concepts that are going into A21. So we're excited about that. And some, depending on the prop, sometimes it needs to get pushed to graphic designers to kind of make labels. And Brian, I say graphic designers with an S, but Brian's our lone warrior on that side. So he's pretty booked up, trying to get a lot of the labels and graphic designs, that are going into each prop. So on the far right, that's our final 3D model that's going in game and, built by talented environment artist, Yang Ha. So that's kind of just a small glimpse into prop art direction process. You can move next slide, Lathan.
Okay.
Cool. So yeah, next up is technical art for A21. This is just a few things put into one page, but we've been I've personally been working on a lot of the improving the glass, and we've been working with level designers on getting some really old glass swapped out and updated in new shaders. So on the left here is kind of a graph that I made in Substance Designer, and it took a little while. It took longer than I wanted to kind of figure out kind of some fractal design and break textures that looked believable. You can kind of see a little bit of that on the far left. So yeah, I mean, a lot of that is getting swapped out right now, and you should see a lot of that in the A21 release. So a lot of cracked glass and broken glass and shattered glass, and refraction and reflections that look believable and stuff like that. So yeah, we're excited about that. And then we've got some really cool lighting features like light emissive color matching. So level designers can kind of pick if they want the emissive portion of the textures to match the actual light color. So they can have different warm or cool lights depending on what they want to put in their levels and their POIs. So we're excited about that feature. That was fun implementing that. Improved screen space reflections. So we have kind of a new way of doing it, and worked with Sean Liptak on getting that integrated and optimized. And you can kind of see a little bit of the reflections in the new vending machine that Hung made. So yeah, he actually sent that screenshot out, and he was like, hey, this looks really cool. Like I can see it in this, how it's working, in this shot. So we were excited about how good it looked. And the top right, there's some of the technical props that I did. So there's on Trader Rect, there's like some feed pipes and stuff like that are on the roof, and hanging ropes and all kinds of crazy things going on that we couldn't really achieve with blocks. I mean, we could, but it was just way too technical for kind of a one-off thing. So I just wanted to build in that, so that we could put up that as a custom model, just to kind of enhance what we were trying to achieve with Trader Rex. And then we've got on the top right, there's a bear rug that we got in Trader Joel's, and that's using the head that Brett Briley, the high poly sculpt that Brett Briley did, is a really talented character artist. So yeah, we got that, was able to figure out how to kind of bake down fur in a believable way to make it look interesting and work with the shader that we have. And then kind of a working stiff poster that I made is you guys will be seeing that in A21 around. So yeah, it's fun stuff. And bottom right, there's the prop foliage shader that I built just for some of the hedges and some of the bushes and stuff that we have coming into A21. And I think that's pretty much it for technical art.
There you go.
All right. So next up is trader locations. You guys, I don't know if you saw the other stream, but they showed, some of the new trader locations that we made. And, we met with level design at the beginning of this alpha, and we were talking about, what can we do to kind of enhance the trader locations and make them feel a little more believable and a little more connected to their design. So we came up with, actually 2 or 3 concept designs for each trader, and just kind of coming up with ideas and seeing what what feels good and what works. And here's a few concepts, and you might be able to kind of guess which one is which just by looking at them. Some of the people that have played it for a while, and you can kind of see the little bit of the traders in the background there. But our concept guys are just amazing. So it was really fun working with them to try to figure out, what the new trader locations are going to look like. And we're excited about you guys being able to see it as well. And that's about it for trader locations, I think.
There you go.
Trader signs. Yeah, so along with the custom trader POIs, we wanted to just add props that go along with their design and go along with the feel of their POI. And they had a little bit of that going on with the old Trader Joel sign. So we actually really liked that original Trader Joel sign, so we kind of remade it in the new way that we're building things nowadays. But we really liked the style of the original, so we wanted to keep the same flavor as the old one, but just kind of upgrade a little bit. And then, some of the other signs, just we want them to be able to, like Trader Bob's. I think you guys saw that in the other stream, but making signs, it was actually pretty challenging to come up with designs for signs that fit their personality and their theme that we were going for in the POI concept. So I think we achieved it pretty well, and we hope you're excited whenever you see them in game. So that's about it for trader signs.
Wait, was that the last image?
It might have been the last image.
Yeah. I'm like clicking it, going, man, it's not working. Okay. So at this point, I guess we need to bring Brian on. If you want to go ahead.
Yeah.
Figure out this guest star stuff real fast.
Yeah. Next up is Brian Wagner. He's our, graphic designer. I want to say new, but I think he's been here for probably about a year and a half. And he's highly talented.
There he is.
Real lucky to be able to find him. And he's always overworked. So welcome, Brian.
Hey everybody. Yeah, my name's Brian, graphic designer for 7 Days to Die. And yes, I have a lot of work to do. I just joined last February, and I've been working with a lot of these departments at 7 Days and with a lot of talented people. And I hope to show some of my work to y'all today.
Okay, so give me just a moment and I will get it. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I got it. Okay, then I just gotta, boom. There you go.
Awesome. So one of the first large projects that I did for the company was the alcohol redesign for some of the packaging you might find around, scavenging for alcohol. The goal that I set out when I got tasked this was to create 3 different looking alcohol types: vodka, tequila, and the third one that I can't remember. Bourbon whiskey. Yeah. So I went around and walked around the alcohol aisle, try to see what the different color schemes are. And generally speaking, vodkas are blue. You got the tequila with the red, and you got bourbon with that kind of grayed out look. You can go ahead to the next slide. All 3 are sequential.
There you go.
Awesome. Yeah. So Ricky Joel's bourbon is maybe based on someone you may recognize. The drawing was done with a little rendering style that I picked up from a stock image. And this one was meant to be more tan to kind of match the bourbon look. One side note as well is you might notice the labels are there as well. While the actual assets were done by Decagon, I provided the label designs for them to kind of wrap around the alcohol, including like a guideline of how the actual liquid should look, as well as like the overall dimension and shape. So you might see a little bit of our touch as well as Decagon's touch in these assets. I think they did a great job kind of weathering them, which is something that I'd love to ask them more about. And we can move to the next one. And this is a Stratum vodka. It's been distilled 21 times, which I'm sure cannot be good for it. It is a blue clear vodka. And there's really not much more to say about it. I was trying to go with like a cleaner look to kind of contrast with the two rugged looks with these alcohols. And I think all three came out pretty good thanks to the work by Decagon. We can move on. There you go. So one of the biggest projects I got to work on that I absolutely adored was the vending machine candy redesigns. Basically, we needed a vending machine asset, and in the process, since we already had the candy built into the game with the buffs and debuffs, they set me on that task as well. So basically what I did was I looked at the original asset and remade them either using the original art but with a different look, or sometimes even redoing it entirely, like in the case of Health Bar. You might see some similarities to these if you are familiar with the old assets. Some of these might look a little more different than you anticipate. And there's also, I didn't include it in this concept, but the actual thumbnail image is also updated as well. I don't know if it'll be in this patch, but that is asset created. And we can go to the next slide to see the rest of it. Fort Bites are candy now. I think they are. I don't know. Some of them say like different things too. And these are like packaging that I made up, companies that you typically see in a vending machine. We went and talked about what you'd see, you know, pretzels, chips, Doritos, beef jerky. And I kind of, you know, came up with brands for each of them, came up with a mascot if needed, like in the case of Goblinos. And while I can't remember, I think that says Salt Overkill on the top left. It's a spicy ramen. So I went through and kind of, you know, you might see some secret little jokes. You might see some weird details, if you can see that far in the high res, of like writing that I had to come up with. I do, and I've been a graphic designer for years, so I'm familiar with filling out random bits of information. So you'll see some things in the, if you go one more, Lathan, to the next one. So I believe Hung is going to show this as well, and he did a fantastic job with the model. This is how it looks in game, and it's a little lower res, obviously, than the assets, because I made the assets huge, but you'll probably be able to make out some of these little details I put in, and I hope that people enjoy them, some of the little inside jokes. And that should do it for the vending machine. Okay, so now we're getting into one of my more recent projects. This was Trader Hugh's concept. I believe Justin showed some of the concept art, and I was tasked with doing some of the background assets for that art. So this is the target practice posters. I referenced a lot of what people like to see in posters. The biggest one is the one that's actually in the game, as well as well, there's another one that actually isn't. Oh no, there it is. Bottom middle. You'll probably see that later in the stream. Both of those are the ones that are actually being used in the completed version. But these are just some of the other concepts I came up with, because I like to usually prepare extra. And we can move on. This one was a pain in the ass, to be honest. This is a lot of referencing military awards, and we couldn't reference them too closely because, you know, of course, there's rules about what you can and can't use. So a lot of these are very close to what you'd see in real life and a little removed. Some of them might be closer. I believe the ribbons might be closer based on actual ribbons. But these were just to showcase Trader's military background. The final asset might be slightly different. We had to do some adjustments for the actual asset to be weathered. And we can move to the next one. This was a very cool part of the project. I had to do some gun blueprints and a gun breakdown. For the record, I know next to nothing about guns. So I'm guaranteeing you, one of you people out there who love guns or know guns will probably look at this and give me shit for it. And I fully accept that. So this one is based on the Desert Eagle in the game, or as it's called, a makeshift post-apocalyptic gas-actuated pistol. And there's another asset if we go on. And this one is based on the M16, the makeshift post-apocalyptic automatical tactical rifle. This one's based more on like a breakdown that you'll see. Automatical is an intentional choice because I was just being goofy, and I already don't know anything about guns, so I thought it'd be funnier. And this one, I believe, in the final asset is changed to be green to contrast better with the wall behind it. But this is what the original looked like. And we can move on to the next one.
Okay.
I'm just waiting to see it on mine. I forget which one. Okay. This is a full breakdown of the AK-47 in game using a actual 3D render with some layered drawings over it. Again, as mentioned before, I know nothing, but I did reference a breakdown of an AK-47 that I found online, several of them, to try and get an idea of what these parts are called. It's almost certainly wrong, but I verified with a few people. I double-checked my work, so we'll see what happens. I hope to see someone on the subreddit or something talk about how silly these words are. But yeah, we have like a trigger breakdown. I wanted to focus on the fact that it uses a shovel as a backing because that seems like a unique feature that you'd see in a post-apocalyptic gun recreation. And yeah, that should do it for that asset there as well. Here's another concept for Trader Hugh. There's some flags. You might see some of the inspiration if you're familiar with the military flags, military focus flags. We had to obviously change a few things, but I feel like there's some unique takes here that you might appreciate if you like the "Don't Tread on Me" poster and whatnot. We can move on to the next one. Here are some edited photos that you'll see hanging about or on like a frame or something. One of these was edited again by Justin, and you'll see that in the actual release. But these are a mix of renders that I've made through the use of asset packs or stock footage or stock imagery. We can go to the next one. And of course, you wouldn't have a gun store without some very aggressive signs. So a lot of these kind of were made to fit what I imagine Trader Hugh would be like, including the fucking liberals, little scratch out in the bottom left, smile asshole, all the kind of stuff that you'd expect him to say or have in his store. Go to the next one. And this is the last thing I have to talk about at this very moment. This was the first thing I did for the game. It is a achievements image. If you've been watching the game, you'll already have seen some of these in use. And it was a long project, and I hope that many of you liked it. I haven't really got a chance to see how people's reception to it has been. But hopefully it is a good choice for everyone. Be sure to let me know how it comes out. That about covers everything I've done so far. I guess you'll be doubling back to me, right?
Yes,
Lathan?
yes. So the plan is we are going to show all the Alpha 21 stuff. Then we're going to kind of circle back around to the people and let them show off just a little bit of a sneak peek of Alpha 22. So thank you, Brian. Like we said, we'll get back to you in just a little bit. But I'm going to go back to this screen. So now
Wow, Brian, cool stuff.
Thank you very much, guys. See you in a sec.
Okay, and then let's see, remove. Sorry, there's a whole process to this. I gotta like move. No, don't move him in the slot. Move him to the queue. And then bring in Hung. You want to go ahead and introduce him while I.
Yeah, next up is Hung Pham. He's the lead environment artist. I'll let him talk more about himself if he wants.
There he is.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Oh, awesome. Cool. Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to figure this out myself, but yeah, so actually I'm one of the environment artists here, and for this alpha is kind of apropos to follow up with O'Brien. I got to make a lot of assets with a lot of his labels and utilizing his graphic design. Back on Alpha 19, I think it was, I had to do a lot of the commercial assets, and I was like a ton of stuff, and it was a ton of fun too, but it was extremely time consuming because it was making a lot of like store products and like foods, items, drinks, and all of that kind of stuff. And you don't realize like half or even more of the battle is coming up with the labels and
Yeah, it is.
the little quirky, funny ideas and things like that, and the inside jokes and actually making it look in the like a true in vein and the flavor of the actual product, so people kind of recognize it. So that was extremely difficult. And with this alpha, Brian came on board, and he's, as you've seen from his work, he's fantastic. He's been a huge help. So I was pretty excited, kind of bringing some of his art into the game as well. So I guess Lathan, you could start the slideshow. I'll show off some of the stuff that we collaborated on.
Okay, let me get this going. And okay, perfect. There you go.
All right. So Brian was showing this earlier. So part of our pipeline here, I guess, was that Brian had the task of like making a lot of these labels and posters, designs, and things like that to kind of give a lot of life to a lot of these environments that we're working on in this alpha. One of the particular ones was the trader POIs, and with Trader Hugh.
What are you doing? Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
It just decided to go away. I was like, okay,
yeah.
Sorry.
We had to do a lot of military posters, signs, and things like that, targets, what Brian showed. And so part of the pipeline was, so I would take something like this AK-47 poster that Brian created, and try to, get it in game and making it look nice and making sure it fits on the wall and the voxel space and everything. So you move to the next slide, Lathan.
There you go.
All right. So you see, here's that in a framed poster form in game, in one of the trader locations, and it looks awesome. It just grounds the whole area and everything, and has so much believability to it.
Sorry, I stole your shot.
No, it's great. People can kind of see it again, because it looks awesome with the reflection against the vending machine. You can go on to the next one. All right, here's another one of Brian's paintings or posters in a frame on the wall there, and you can see underneath there's some of his other signs. It's pretty funny. Smile, asshole, that sort of stuff. A lot of Brian's humor. You can go to the next one.
Okay.
Again, another one of actually two of his. One of his Target posters there you see, and then a tank photo on the wall. All right, go to the next one.
That's cool.
Yeah, it adds so much details to these plain walls, so you see all those gun schematics, the Target posters. Yeah, it just adds so much. You don't notice it, but then once you're there, it feels like a surplus store with all these wall deco items. And go on to the next one. Again, here are just some of the examples of some of the gun signs that Brian made. They're a little bit far out, but you saw a little bit more detail in the images he presented earlier. Go on to the next.
Okay.
Yep, some more of these. Some of these are the in-game targets that made it into the game that Brian referred to earlier. Next one. All right, so this was awesome right here too. It's like like I was saying, it takes so much time to come up with believable looking labels and branding and stuff. And so it was awesome when Brian provided all of the stuff. It was like gold. When I signed up to do a vending machine, you think, oh, it's easy, it's a box, but then there's like 20 plus items you have to come up with labels. So thank God Brian came up with those labels and everything. So these are just some of the snacks here that he created. I want to showcase them individually there. And then if you go on to the next one.
Okay.
All right, here are the end product right there. Some of the vending machines in game. Here's one shot, and then you can go on to the next one. All right, and here's all the variants with the full vending machines, the empty ones, and then the busted up ones. All right, you can go on to the next one. All right. So one of the other cool things about working at the Fun Pimps, our team's still relatively small, and so we work so closely with interdepartmentally, getting to work with Brian for the graphic design, and then with these tents, I got to work with one of our lead level designers named Brad, and he's fantastic. And also like Justin, who did the concept for this? Was it?
That was Ricky.
Ricky, yeah. So, and working with some of the concept artists, they're pretty amazing. And so with this, this is like some of the tent concepts that Ricky made for our hazard tents, which we had planned on making hazard tents, but also make these flexible to where we can retexture them, make them military tents, all sorts of different tents. So we were pretty excited because we could see ourselves utilizing this in so many different areas and levels in the game. So this is the initial concept right here. You can go on to the next one. What do you think?
Okay.
And then, so here, Brad mocked out the tents right here is proxy. The other cool thing about the Fun Pimps is like, we all kind of wear many hats, and Brad, not only is he a great level designer, he's actually a pretty amazing modeler as well, as well as a lot of our level designers. And so they're able to provide these, proxies, but you could, get all these little details that they provide. They kind of go above and beyond. So it's amazing. And so what they do is like, with our game, everything's pretty much destructible. And so I rely on them a lot to kind of provide like really nice proxies to kind of test it out to see how they work, if they break right, and if it looks funny, things like that, if they fit in the voxel dimensions. And so that's a huge help before I even start on the asset. And so this image right here is the proxy set that Brad modeled and tested out before he even handed it to me. If you go on to the next one.
Actually, I do want to point one thing out before anybody like clips this and looks at it. Yes, that roof looks weird, but it was just a bad texture atlas at the moment. That was just a bug. That's not something real in the game. Don't start posting, what the hell are they doing with the roof in this?
Yeah, that's my bad. I was working on some block textures, and that it was out. I hadn't rebaked the latest.
Yeah.
So.
I just wanted to clarify before people started making videos. Look at this weird roof they put in.
Yeah.
So
they're getting a little behind the scenes look right here.
Yeah.
All right. And so this image right here is some of the pieces that Brad created before he sent me this task, and you can see the amount of detail and the forethought that he put into this. So, you can see, he can, with this set, he can make L-shaped tents, really long tents, short tents, also it's so flexible, and it's through his testing and proxy work. And so once he hands this to me, I grab this, and then if you go to the next slide there, Lathan, I take this and I use the same footprint, and then I start doing some high poly modeling work on it right here. And so I start sculpting in a lot of the wrinkles and things like that. And then once I get the high poly, then I start texturing it. If you go on to the next one, Lathan. All right, and here you can see I start to replace the pieces in his proxy. And what's great about this pipeline is that, level design can go ahead and start, creating these assets in game and testing them out in their levels and already start placing them. And what I do is like, I just go in and swap it with finished art. And so what's great about that is like, it doesn't hold them up. They can build out their levels without having to wait on finished art. And I can actually go in and, test it out, make sure, the details look appropriate. There's not too much noise. The colors fit right, that sort of stuff. So it's a great pipeline. And if you go to the next one, you'll see another image of me starting to replace some of the pieces in the interior. So I started, replacing some of the roof assets, and then the walls are still proxy at this point. All right, if you go to the next one. All right, this is some of the finished assets, right, in game shots. So there's an interior of one of the tents all decked out by Level Design. If you go on to the next one.
I like all the puns.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It's intense.
Yep. And this is kind
Yeah.
of one of the finished shots with the finished tent and the proper roof on the church.
Yeah, the finished roof too.
The finished roof too.
There's room.
Yeah. All right. Move on to the next one. All right. So one of the other big things I had to tackle for this alpha was up-resing, redoing a lot of the existing doors in game, and actually creating a lot of new ones too. And I think last time we did a stream, I might have shown, I was starting on the doors, and I've shown some of the new upgrades. And then one of the things that got a lot of people excited was adding like double doors. And so a lot of people are really excited about that. And so we have a plethora of all new different sorts of doors in game now, from single doors, double doors, roll-up doors. When I last counted, it took probably I made probably 54 individual meshes for all these doors. One of the big time-consuming things was each door had damage states as well. And so not only are you making the single door, but you're making a damage state 1, damage state 2, damage state 3. And so a lot of these doors actually had 4 different meshes. And you'll see that once we move on with the slides. So we can go to the next one.
Okay.
All right, so here's a perfect example right here. This commercial door. The first stage was, it has barricades on it, and then once you bust barricades off, there's the intact plain door. And then as you break through to the next damage stage, there's a small hole. You'll probably see a zombie peeking through the other side, and you shoot him in the head. And then later on, when you damage it even more, the door gets bigger. You can do more damage to several zombies. All right, if you go on to the next one. So this is just an animation of that door, showing it going through the different damage states as you destroy it. All right. If you go on to the next one. And like I said, a lot of these doors, not only did we have the single versions where we introduced the double doors as well, which a lot of people are pretty excited about. You go on to the next one. And so it was so time consuming making all of these different variations. So I had to kind of utilize some other programs to help me speed up the process. And one of those programs is Houdini. Working at a small studio, you have to, do a lot of stuff. You have to try to speed up your pipeline as much as possible. Lathan, if you play that again, it kind of sped up a little bit, but Houdini was a great asset I started utilizing for these doors here, where you can just kind of create your door and adjust some sliders and animate the destruction. And you can increase the size of the hole, reduce the size of the hole, that sort of stuff. Create a low poly from it, as you can see from the video, and then move on from there. But that was a huge time saver. All right, on to the next one. And these videos are just kind of showing some of the different variety of doors that we have in this alpha. So you'll see, now you have a lot of cool monster closets with some of these new doors right here. You cycle through the next one.
There you go.
Cool porta potty monster closet right there for you.
And that's the sleeper model, by the way. That's not a actual in-game character. That's just what level designers see in their level.
Yeah. Another sneak peek behind the curtain there.
Yeah.
Full of crap.
All right.
Sorry.
Yeah, we have some new cool unique doors, unique to the trader POIs.
I mean, it should be pointed out that you can't break it at the trader. So, everybody, just in case you were thinking that.
Yeah.
Just showing you the doors.
Yeah. They're reused in a lot of other places.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Going to the next one. We even have sliding doors now, from residential to commercial.
So cool.
Yeah, and these I hadn't gotten Justin's cool cracked glass shader on it, so it looks even better once you guys see it.
Yeah, I remember when the sliding doors were starting to become a thing, and people were like, I don't know if we can do that just because of zombies crawling through on the ground, and what if they're in the way and it closes on them, but they figured it out.
Yeah, it's well worth it.
Totally.
Yeah, they look great.
All right, on to the next one. That might be it, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like we have rolling gate doors. Kind of you probably see at shops and stores at the mall. Kind of give you hints of possibilities for new POIs.
Yeah, there's a lot of new POIs coming.
Yeah. Yeah, we got elevators and
He's currently doing but I think people are excited about that possibly at some point. So
yeah.
Did that cut out for everybody else?
Yeah, no, I still see it.
Yeah.
Was that the last one, Nathan? Lathan, sorry.
Nope, one more.
All right. Oh yeah, we got even like hatches, that sort of stuff.
The lost hatch.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You need one of those for a post-apocalyptic world, man. So
Yeah.
then here's a double vault door. It's pretty cool.
Animation is really cool too.
Yeah.
Did you did most of those animations too.
Yeah. So this task was very daunting, just remaking all those doors, but it was pretty cool and rewarding too, because I had to learn to do animation, which I never did before. So it was kind of cool to be able to kind of animate these and get them in game and kind of see my entry level animations in the game. So
Now you're gonna get all the prop animation.
nah, I'll leave it to the pros. We're way better animators at our studio. So, but I think that's it, Lathan.
Yeah, that is the last one.
Awesome.
So
Well, I hope you guys enjoy all these new doors and everything. So
Good work, Hung.
Thank you, Hung.
Awesome
yeah,
stuff.
appreciate it.
Okay, so let me click over here. Then Young-Ha is the
Next up is
next
Young Ha, senior environment artist.
Hello.
Hey, we can hear you and see you.
Oh, I thought I was the last.
There you are.
No, I think we said you were gonna be. I think you were gonna be now. I hope. We might have got the order a little bit mixed up.
Yeah, my first name is Wise.
Okay.
Yeah, I was the last.
Oh no. We had just a special order. It wasn't alphabetical. But here, let me. If you want, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Okay. I'm also the senior artist on PIP.
Okay.
I joined the Fun team since 2018. Yes, time flies.
Yeah. So
So,
I have your art ready. If you want to, here, let me go ahead and click on over. There. Hey, there we go. Oh, wait a minute. So hold on. Were these Alpha 22 or Alpha 21 stuff? Because I just noticed the icon.
I think he was gonna show at the same time.
Okay,
And just
and
kind
that's
of
fine.
point out a few of the things that are still future alpha
Sure.
as of now.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead. Take it away.
Go ahead, Young Ha.
all right. So my mic setting is kind of echo.
You may have to mute the Twitch video.
Young Ha, are you seeing the stream and everything? Do you see what we're showing at the moment?
Yes, this is all that the list of the for the Alpha 21.
No, we
yeah.
have the writable crates on the screen. Your first image.
Yeah, so that's first, that is 3 crates on the front. That's for the Alpha 22. And the behind there's the vending machine in the center. And the two workstation, which is one is the forge, and the left side is the workstation.
Yeah, so the workbench and the forge.
Yeah, there's a two status, and one is intact, the other one is a broken. So,
Yeah, well, looking good.
Yeah, and just so people know, sorry to interrupt, Young, there was a question about if people will be able to see the model updates on the workbenches whenever you upgraded them, and we want it's all set up to do that. It just needs some code support, so it probably won't be in this alpha, but possibly next alpha. So whenever you get that upgrade, it'll show it on the actual workbench.
When we're talking about the upgrade, we're talking about slotting the tools and having it show the different pieces, right?
Yep.
That might be in for 21. Sean was messing with it, so I don't
Oh,
know if
that's
he
cool.
finished it. I'm not going to make any claims. He's probably in chat, but I know he was messing with it. So
Cool.
He told me he wanted to do it. So yeah. Oh, okay. Well, apparently they're saying he already said it's in, so it isn't. It'll said
Nice.
it's in. Yeah, they're all saying that. So, okay. Forge is ready.
Okay.
Workbench is not. Alan just said that. So, okay.
yeah, this is that we had the proxy model. We just revamped that from the existing one, thanks to James' concept and the Justin's art direction. Make this the good quality of this product.
I'm gonna switch to next.
So, and then you can move on.
Yeah, so we're on the vehicles now. The cop car and the truck sitting.
Yes, we had the vehicles, in old ARPAs, and then we need to create a new type of the vehicles. Including police car, sedan,
Oh, sorry.
pickup truck, minivan, SUV.
Yeah. Looking good. Here, I'll go to the next one.
Yeah, cool stuff. It's awesome.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
look great.
Thanks. And we have a twin turbo switch, even same model, then we can different color vehicles, more variety. This current screenshot shows that the vehicle wreckage.
Oh, did I switch too early? I'm sorry. I could go back.
Too fast, man.
Here. I went back. So we're back on the crunched cars.
Okay, this is the most challenge for me to build a vehicle has an interior.
Yeah, that's a ton of work.
Yeah, and the broken part, engine and the frames, broken glasses.
Yeah, the details are great.
And you pack the UVs really good too. That's super challenging to get the resolution high enough.
Yeah, it's a matter of time. There's time consuming, but I enjoy that the working with that vehicles.
So cool.
Okay, moving on to the next one.
Yeah, let's go. Next one.
The fire truck and the
Yes, this vehicle is a big size to compare with other vehicles. The fire engine and semi front truck.
Yeah, just to clarify, these are not drivable. These are just environment props. I saw somebody curious about that.
Moving on to the next one.
Yeah. good to lay that the different size of vehicle and in the environment. It's more believable.
Moving on to the next one.
This image shows that the heavy equipment at this excavator, and the excavator with the different claws on the arms.
Oh yeah, you want to tell them kind of the level design request about that, kind of what they do with it and stuff.
Yes, yeah. Level designer can coordinate that the vehicles grabbed by the claws. Good to use it. They have equipment on the industrial side and some junkyard.
Yeah, there's some really cool POIs with them that have vehicles inside of them or logs and stuff like that. I'm spoiling too much of these guys' POIs.
It's fine. Okay, so I will move to the next image.
Yeah, next one is the last one.
Okay.
Yeah, these models are for A21. Somebody was asking.
Yeah, the Duke in the casino in the middle, in the center of that, as big one is for Alpha 22.
Yeah, so we will be getting a Duke's Casino, everybody. You see it here.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Spoiler.
Spoiler, but it definitely says coming to Alpha 22, so please don't make a video saying, hey, it's coming to Alpha 22.
Yeah, 22 plus.
Yes. Yeah, there's a plus there, so it could be even later. So, but yeah, these look great. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah,
yes, these
awesome.
are the signage that for Alpha 21, except the casino, and
Okay.
Yeah, it's so cool, man. This add a lot of character to the trader POIs. Great work.
Yeah.
thanks. So
I think that is it. So I'm going to click back over here, but thank you.
yeah, so
Show that
hopefully you guys enjoyed my work.
It was awesome.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you again for being here, and we will.
Thanks,
move
Young Ho.
on. Say bye, everybody. Okay, so clicking on. Let's see who's next. Noe, I think. Get Noe in here. Noe, you ready? I hope so.
Yeah, next up is Noe Serrano. He's a senior environment artist.
Noe, please accept. Uh-oh. There you are. Okay. I was getting a little worried for a moment. I was like, oh no.
Okay, I don't see my image.
There you are. We got you. Okay. So, Noe, go ahead and introduce yourself, and I'll get
Hey,
your stuff ready.
I think there's a delay.
Yeah, there is. I mean, it's,
Okay. All right. Yeah, my name's Noe Serrano. I've been working with the Fun Pimps for about 2.5 years, and I mainly do props and anything that's environmental related. And it's great working for the Fun Pimps and for the team. It's an amazing team.
cool. Well,
Oh,
let me go ahead now. Click us over. And there's your first image.
Okay. Yeah, for my first prop of the first Alpha 21, I had to do the pipes, all the pipe kits for pretty much all the environments. That also included the damage pipe for the, what do you call that? The hazard task or
The fire hazard, yeah.
Yeah, fire.
Yeah, you can see a little preview of the fire hazard right there on the top left. And at the bottom, you could see like just the different versions that the environmental guys could use all the pipes. Some of them will hug the walls. Some of them would just stick out a little bit in between the bottom. And there's also, you could be used for the ceilings. If you look at the top right, you'll see I also created some electrical boxes. Those are for outside houses and stuff like that. Also created, since I was working on pipes, the pipes were very similar to the gas meter. So I went and go ahead and did 2 versions for the gas meter. Next page. Nathan.
Okay. It'll take you a second, but should see it.
And yeah, this is just kind of collage of all the stuff that I worked on for, like, let's see, there's 2 new key racks for the players to be able to come back to the environments and, kind of like, what do you call that? When they're able to grab the key and open it later on if they need to come back and all that stuff.
Yeah, they use them for some POI gameplay setups,
shortcuts and all that stuff. Did 3 mailboxes that some of them could be found like in rural areas, some of them in the suburbs, and a real nice fancy one for the nice houses. This image has a lot of stuff. Did 3 variations of the horseshoes, 4 versions for the lanterns. Some of them could be used hanging on top. Some of them could be used for there's 2 versions, one with the small nail, one with the train track for caves. Since we're in the caves, I also did 3 versions for the mushrooms that people could farm. Did 4 versions for the school desk, and I did the Duke flag on the top left and the US flag on the top right, and also did 3 regular versions of like something you would normally see at like Trader Hughes. I think that Try and Take It is pretty much that guy, the Gaydon's what is that called? Ticket, what is that? I don't remember the name of it, but so they're just kind of like different variations of what you would see. Like Honor and Duty is the Marines, the Marine Corps. Valiant is pretty much like the equivalent of the POW, and created one for the Fun Pimps. And the Fun Pimp's actually pretty cool because you can actually do a color tint on that one. And a lot of these props are all color tint also. That's it for this page.
Okay.
And for my next task, I had to do a bunch of sheet metal that you could use for different types of walls. Like these are mainly for traders, and you could pretty much use them to kind of give you the look of what do you call it, like Mad Max feel. And if you go to the next page, you'll be able to see some of the use cases for them. Lathan.
Okay.
And here's some of the use cases for them. They could be flipped upside down, horizontally. If you look to the top right, you can see the new Eden, and hidden under there is the Nestle Gaines. What is that? The
the Navis game.
Yeah, Just that.